Alright, so this is going to be a tutorial for retiming a console run. So basically what we're doing with this is we're simulating the live split timer in the PC, on PC, because that's what runs are timed with, and you can't get it on console. So instead we're going to manually time out every load in the game, and I'm going to be going through when those loads occur, like the situations in which they occur, which there are 5. There's when you die, when you abort a mission, when you select a mission, when you reload a checkpoint, and when a cutscene, a pre-rendered cutscene plays. So we'll go through those later on. Very first thing though, obviously, is to find out how long the run is with loads. So this is Glitch's NG Plus run that I retimed like a week ago or something, 14 days ago it was. Or was it a week ago? So the run starts when the HUD appears. So that is right here, right this frame. So there's your cursor, there's your health. So this run starts at 10:06:98. So actually I should mention you're going to want to have like a video editing program to do this kind of stuff, because you're going to be doing a lot of scrubbing looking for like the exact frame of when loads start and stop and that sort of thing. And if you're trying to do that on YouTube, it's just going to be torture. And you're also not going to have a really accurate time display. So if you're doing this, you want to have like Premiere or Vegas. And if you're in Premiere, Premiere displays time pretty weirdly. Normally it's just displaying like the seconds plus frames, which is stupid. So if you want to show milliseconds, you click this button, show audio time units, then right click here and go milliseconds, and that'll give you regular time. So this run starts 10:06:98. 10:06. Fuck me, I can't type. 98. And then so that's the start time, and then the end time would be right here, exactly when the screen kind of disappears. So first frame right there, 1:26:30:63. 1:26:30:63. So then you would subtract 10:06:98 from 1:26:30:63, and that gives you the length of your run with loads. And I think I'm not going to do like the math right now. I think this run was 1:07:22 or something like that. Point some shit. So that's the run with loads, and then like from now on, every time you time out a death and you get the load time that death took up, or the reload checkpoints, or a cutscene. So say you've got like 10, 6, or 12, and 6. So you've got like a total of 28 seconds of loading. You subtract 28. You subtract from 1:07:22 28. And then that gives you your time without loads, which is 1:06:56, 54. Yeah, so that would be your time without loads if this was all the loads that you had. I'm saying loads more than a prostitute at the moment. Okay, so how do you go about actually timing out load times? Alright, I can't stop thinking about it now. Alright, so first off, the very first thing you time out is Silvine screen. So this is this cutscene when Icarus picks you up and he's like gives you the grid link and all this crap appears on your screen. The reason we time this out on PC at least is because all this shit on the screen can slow down your computer, and if your computer slows down to running the game at sub 30 FPS, then Faith actually moves slower. So basically, if you go below 30 FPS at any point in this cutscene, it takes you longer to get through this cutscene than a person with a really good PC. So it's not fair for those people. So that's why we time it out. And the way you time it out, is very simple. So it's just the first frame that the skip menu or the skip cutscene button has disappeared. So there it is, and that's at 3.05. So we're recording right now the moment that the timer should have stopped, even though it doesn't. So that's 3.05, and then we find the end of this cutscene. And it's the skip button disappearing again. So that's 21.69. 0.69, and that equals, oh, what happened? And then we just subtract 3.05 from 21.69, and that will give us our load time, or our Sylvine screen time anyway. So 21.69 minus 3.05 is 18.64. So that's Sylvine. So that's how you time out Sylvine. Pretty easy. Next up is dying. So in Glitch's run, he failed warehouse skip once, and he died. He looks like he's gonna reload, but then he's just like, screw it, I'll just die. So the rules for retiming deaths is the live split timer would normally stop exactly 1 second after your death, which we count as being the very first frame of white fading in. So on console, so you can see like right here, the screen's getting whiter and whiter. But on console, it's actually pretty simple because the screen glitches out like the moment the game says you're dead. So it's way easier on console. I don't think this actually happens on PC. So we just record the time, so it's 27.26, but because the timer would stop a second after you die, it's actually 28.26, if that makes sense. Because it takes the timer a bit to stop whenever you die, because loading hasn't actually started yet. So 28.26, and then respawning is when you restart the timer. So the timer starts 1 second before you respawn, which is the first frame of no white, which is kind of a dumb way to put it. But you can see like right here, there's still white fading in. So it's the first frame where there's no more white, because we hate whites. So still white, and it looks like this is the first frame where there's no white. So 41.46, but again, because we know that it's a second before this point, it's 40.46. So 40.46, and then we get the calculator out. 40.46 minus 28.26 equals 12.2. If you're better than me at math, you can just do this in your head, I guess. But I suck. I actually forgot to get a reload checkpoint example, so I'll cut that in right now. Alright, so I couldn't be bothered finding one from Glitch, so I've just got one from me. So let's say you were doing back in the game, and instead of doing the new elevator clip strat, you just did the old reload checkpoint. So the rule for reloading a checkpoint and timing that out is that the timer stops around 2.1 seconds after the HUD has reappeared when the red menu has disappeared. So by that I mean... come on. So when you reload a checkpoint, you bring up the menu, you hit reload checkpoint, comes up, and then after you've hit yes, the red menu is still there, it fades out, and then the HUD reappears for a second. So the first frame that's come back, after this, 2.1 seconds after that, so 2.1 after 528.8, that's when the timer would actually stop. So we've got 528.8. Alright, this is going to ruin the continuity. Alright, 528.8 plus 2.1, so 28.8 plus 2.1, 30.9, so 530.9. So that's when the timer actually stops, and then for it coming back is the same as a death. So it's just once you've respawned 1 second after no white. Because this is 60 FPS footage, it's going to be a little bit more tricky because it's much more gradual. I'd say like right there, 539.48. So then 39.48 minus 30.9. Oh wait, so it's actually 38 because it's a second before you respawn, so I fucked that up. So 38.48 minus 30.9, 7.458. So yeah, that's it. Alright, so now that I've demonstrated reload checkpoint, which I didn't totally record after this, selecting missions. So selecting missions, it's the exact same rules really as dying, but it just, the situation is a little bit different. So this would happen like every time you finish a game, finish a mission, and select the next mission. So Glitch has just finished release, and he's starting old friends, so he selects old friends, it's A, and the menu disappears. So the moment the menu disappears, that's when you record the time. Next frame, there we go. So 108.38. So I say end of release 108.38, but again it's a second after, so 109.38. And for when the timer restarts, exact same rules as when you respawn after a death. So first frame of no white. So still white, still white, still white, still white. There we go, there's no difference between these two frames, so it's this one. 141.26, and a second before that is 140.26. So in this situation we just subtract 9.38 from 40.26. So that's a 30.88 second load. So that's selecting a mission. What's the next one? Alright, so cutscenes. So this is only pre-rendered cutscenes. So cutscenes that look like this, that are like really super pretty and, you know, facial animations and all that. Not cutscenes like this. This is an in-game cutscene. The game doesn't load up a video, it's just taking place within the engine. So the timer doesn't stop for these, it only stops for these kinds. And for these, it goes from, now it's a bit weird, it's like half a second, and it's not always exactly half a second. It might be like 1 or 2 hundredths of a second more or less, you never really know. But 0.5 seconds is pretty much it. So the first frame of white, so when she presses the button, and it starts fading to white. There we go, so you can see the green on the left, right there. So 148.43. So this is back in the game cutscene. 148.43. And it's a 0.5 of a second. So, you know, I'm bad at maths. So 43 plus 5. Wait, no, 43 plus 50 is 93. So 148.93. And then for the timer coming back, 1 second after the skip button has disappeared. So we find the skip button, and you know it's doing that thing where it says it's skipping but it's not. And then finally right here, it's disappearing. So right there, first frame, 205.78, and in the case of cutscenes, it's a second after this, not a second before this. So a second after this skip button, that's when it comes, that's when you have the timer. So 205 right here, 205.78, and since we know it's a second more, 206.78, which gives us, now because this is like going over the 1 minute mark and into the 2 minute mark, you know, you have to do like an extra step. So 60 minus 48.93, 11.07 plus 6.78. So, you know, 60 minus this time, this amount of seconds, plus this amount of seconds, and that gives us 17.85. So that's how long that load took. What's next? Alright, so another example of something that we would have to time out manually, even on a PC run, is the VTOL in Prisoner X. So for this one, it's from when the reticule disappears. So, and it also, so right there. So we time this out. We time this out because, again, for some reason, some people can't skip this as quickly as other people, so it's an extra couple of seconds here and there. So VTOL. So, and this is just, you don't have to add any time to the timer, so this is just a straight up 220.40. And then it's to when the skip button disappears, I think. Yeah. So there we go, it's gone. So 223.96. That gives us, what am I doing? 23.96 minus 20.40, 3.56. So that's VTOL. So Prisoner X widescreen is on PC because the timer stops during this. We just time out from when the timer restarts. So the timer stops like right here, and then once it's faded out, the timer restarts for some reason, even though it's a load screen. So we would time it out from when the timer restarts to when it comes back. Well, oops, I'm gonna have to find the end of this. To when the designated like retiming point. But on console, man, I don't know why I stopped talking for so long. On console, you just have to do like the standard rules for when a cutscene stops a timer. So that's 0.5 seconds after the first frame of white. So right here. Right here. Whoops. 232.69. To pass the white screen, this point. And I think it's just the first visible frame, so yeah, so it's kind of hard to judge. Yeah, but see right here you can see the menu coming up, so 257.43. 257.43. So 57.43 minus 32.69. 24.474. And the last manual timeout is the shard. So the shard, you have to time out when this when she opens the hatch door, it goes completely white for like 10 seconds, and then she appears on the train. Start of live split to when skip scene disappears. Alright, so that's not very helpful, but we'll just go by first frame of white. So that will be right here. So 3:42.15. To when skip scene disappears. So wait, I don't know why I wrote skip scene. Oh, okay, so I guess we time out the entire shard train. Makes sense, because I mean the train ride takes the same amount of time every single time, so. So 4:45.64. So that equals, again, we'll have to do 60 minus 42.15, 17.85 plus 45.64, 63, 40, 60, 49. My brain is going to mush. Alright, and that's basically it. So you just do that for every single death, reload checkpoint, every single cutscene, and every selecting mission. And then once you've got all of them, You take all of your load times right here, add them together. So we've got 18.64 plus 12.2 plus 30.88 plus 17.85 plus 3.56. Whoops, plus 24.74 plus 63.49. That's a total of 171.36. And then, so that's 2 minutes. So minus 120. Oops, come on. 51.36. So it's 2 minutes. 51.36. So now we subtract from 107.22.45 to 51.36. So 7 minus 2 is 5. 51.36 minus 22.45 is 28.91. And then 60 minus that, 28.91. 60 minus 28.91 is 39. So 104. 31.09. I don't know if that's right. I think it is, but yeah, basically that's the run without loads now. But obviously I've only timed out some of them, so you'd have to do all the rest, and you probably end up being like 11 minutes or something like that, instead of just 2.5. So yeah, that's it. So do all of that.